Welcome. The Talk1.com. I know the intro said the business of life, but I don't know why. In all this technology, they can't find the Job Talk 1 music, so I have to go through like Tommy. This is the part of life that's challenging. There's like 5 layers of management here, so I got to go. That's Tommy Cairns. Say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone.
So Tommy Cairns on JobTalk1.com. He's really the smart one of the two. I'm the handsome one. I'm the attractive one. I'm the cute one. He's the smart one. Why do I say that? Because he was the HR director for Homeland Security, and for 18 years ran NBC Studios HR department. So today we got a great show. I mean, really a great show. We've got a guest coming on at 2:30, Liz Ryan. She's the head of Human Workplace, and she's fun. She's on television all the time. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff with her, but in our first segment, what we call Block A, we're going to talk about what to do and what not to do at work. Also, we're going to talk about fun jobs. What is a fun job? And our show brought to you by, look, we have so many sponsors. They're lined up. Our show brought to you by All Systems Go. It's a book written by my partner, Thomas Cairns. The book sells for $1,000. So if you go on Amazon.com and look for All Systems Go, it's the only book on Amazon that sells for $1,000. And it's amazing. I'm getting $500 for my book. But $1,000. It's a great read. I think the book's worth somewhere around $999. Not sure it's worth $1,000, but maybe it is. Also, yeah.
I was just going to interject for a moment because you asked me a couple of weeks ago what was my book selling for.
Yeah.
And which wasn't quite $1,000. It was more like $12.95. But I was a bit embarrassed to say that on Amazon it was going for $2.13.
I don't want to tell our listeners that. There's no value in it.
I was feeling bad about this till the other night. I hear Major Garrett, who is on CBS
Radio. A penny
Radio,
a book.
A penny a book. So I said, hey, I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah, I got a book on Amazon. I've had a book out, a bestseller in my family anyway, called The Thinking Room. Also coming on today locally, the owner of Jersey Mike's, and great guy, Steve.
Steve, yes.
One of my favorite restaurants, also one of Justin's. You like Jersey Mike's too?
I do. I'm actually from Jersey.
Are you? What city?
Trenton.
I've been to Trenton. In fact, I got lost in Trenton, got escorted out of Trenton. That's another story I'll tell you off the air. Bonefish Grill. Did we have a lunch today?
We had a fabulous lunch.
Bonefish Grill. What a great establishment here in Santa Clarita, over there in the town center mall, right, on the outside. It was, first of all, they had really nice air conditioning. This is not a plug to go there, but if you're hungry and you want to eat right, if you want to eat fresh, Bonefish Grill. And I'm telling you, she was the sweetest, nicest server. Double tipped her. She was so good, Jessica.
Absolutely.
And you know what? She wants to be a nurse.
Yes.
And Bonefish Grill hired her because she's so nice, but she's efficient. She's sweet. I mean, I double tipped her because the service was magnificent.
And she celebrated her 1-year anniversary yesterday.
1 year anniversary, yeah. So big shout out to you, Jessica, at the Bonefish Grill. I'll be back there many times. I love fish. I love that it was so clean, and I had salmon, and it was delicious. It was actually yummy. What'd you have?
I had fish and chips.
Because you're Irish.
Yes.
I get that.
They were great.
All right, Bonefish Grill. Also, our show brought to you by Pools by Ben. Look at your pool. Go, just turn off the show. Go look at your pool. If you got a leaf in there, any dirt, they will come out. They will fix. Look, I wish we had people in other businesses that could fix problems like Pools by Ben. Check them out. And of course, Lisa's Tax Service. All right. So, what is a fun? Let's get them in here. You want to go get them and get them in here? What is a fun job? I'm curious. This question came up on the show a couple of weeks ago, and I couldn't answer it. So I called a friend of mine. You know that show called Call a Friend? Whatever, Justin. Thanks for the eye contact. And the friend said, any job that's fun is a job that you look forward to. Isn't that cool? So what is a fun job? It's a job that you look forward to. And I get that part. I mean, look, there are some jobs that I wouldn't take, but that's not me. That's whoever's doing that job, like maybe a heart surgeon, right? I couldn't do that job, but for the heart surgeon, I'm sure they look forward to doing that because obviously they're saving lives. They're doing something important. My favorite job in the whole world, that's why I was giving out props to Jessica at Bonefish Grill, is nurses. I think nurses, to me, that's the number one job. That's the number one job for integrity. It's the number one job for saving lives. The number one job for helping people. I don't know. I just think being a nurse is just such an honorable job. I would like to work at Jersey Mike's. To me, that would be a fun job. Now, selfishly, I want to work there, Steve. There's your microphone. It's live, and we'll get his headset on when we take a break. But I met you, 3 or 4 years ago when I first came to Santa Clarita, and you were at one of your stores. You're never at your stores anymore because you're out in your yacht or driving a Rolls Royce somewhere. Say hi to everybody, Steve.
Hi, how are you doing?
So how do you pronounce your last name?
Julius.
Steve Julius.
Steve Julius.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you go into one of the 4 jerseys, and this is not a commercial, 5, you got 5. Where's the 5th one now?
Well, we have the one, our
Speak
original
right
one.
into the microphone.
All right,
directly
we have the original one, which is in Saugus.
Right.
And then we have our other one, which is up here in Stevenson Ranch.
Right.
We have one in Valencia on Copper Hill.
Got it.
We have one.
I go to the one next to Albertsons. What do you call that?
That's, the one on Copper Hill. That's the one in Valencia.
Got it.
And then we have one in Canyon Country. In fact, we just moved into a new location there about 6-7 months ago. And then also we have one up in Golden Valley in the shopping center up there, the Plaza at Golden Valley.
Wow.
We're right next to the Target, and the Lowe's is on the lower level. And we're closed down for 2 days last week because of the fire.
Yeah, I bet. So selfishly, we want to have you on the show today because we want to talk. To me, you're one of the great employers. I go to Jersey Mike's at least 2 or 3 days a week over at the Valencia store. Although the one by Vaughn's or the old Vaughn's, is it going to be a Vaughn's again?
It's now a Vaughn's again.
Yeah, I've been there several times too. Your people love you. Your food is good. Your consistency is, you always know what you're going to get, and it's always good. I don't want to plug Jersey Mike's. I want to talk today about $15 an hour. I want to talk about how you hire people, because all your people are, I would say, people that I would like to have over for dinner. They're just nice people.
Thank you.
So how do we find people like that? That'll be one of my questions. Tom Cairns, my partner on the show, was the HR director for Homeland Security and NBC Studio for 18 years. So he kind of knows a thing or two about employment or HR.
Very nice.
So
And subs.
let's talk a little bit about you. You were in sales most of your life.
Correct.
And how does a guy selling nuts and bolts wind up owning 5 Jersey Mike's?
It's just one of those things that was meant to be. I hate to sound that way, but it just evolved that way. Our daughter actually had her first job at the Jersey Mike's over there next to the Albertsons. Got to know the owner and just thought he was a wonderful man. And literally one thing led to another, and I said, this is something to pursue. Couldn't have had a better opportunity than this. The company is amazing. The owner, president of our company is just one of the most wonderful men, very community focused, just a brilliant marketer, and I am so fortunate to be part of the company at this point.
That guy that cuts the meat, I'm embarrassed. Whatever, he's been there a long, long time. I always congratulate him, but there'll be 15 people in line. That line moves because he is so good at that machine.
Yeah. Jimmy Medley is his name.
Wow,
he is an amazing young man.
You got to keep him.
I'm
telling you, he's amazing.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing him.
Thank you.
He does everything I ask him to do. I like it cut thin. He cuts it thin.
That's great.
All right, so you go from, so you just met him and you inquired about maybe buying a franchise?
Yeah, I had talked to the gentleman who owned the store originally on Copper Hill there. And, I talked with him a little bit about the company and what he was experiencing. From there, I called Jersey Mike's and was able to set up.
Called Dan.
Dan Burrell.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He's
my buddy.
He's a terrific guy. and he's very good friends with the owner of the company, Peter Cancro.
Right.
In fact, they played football on opposing teams, like, you're at Valencia and Saugus, and they were really arch rivals, but they're also very good friends. And quick story is that when I first met Dan, and I went out to their offices out in Ventura, and there was another gentleman there at the meeting, and very, unassuming and very polite, and answered some questions, but Dan really ran the meeting. As I was walking out, I asked the receptionist, I said, gosh, who is that other guy? And she said, well, that's Peter Cancro, the guy who started the whole company.
No
and I said,
kidding.
wow. And right there, I knew that it was the kind of company I'd want to be associated with. He had no ego, no pretense, really was a very humble kind of an approach, and just was very, very impressed.
I hope you stay with us the whole hour. We have
Sure.
coming on at 2:30, the lady that runs Human Workplace. She is like ours, the #1 show, believe it or not, in America for career and jobs. The show is called Job Talk 1, and she has a following of 1 million people. This lady, she's amazing. She's on Fox News all the time.
Wow.
I've been following her, and we're trying to get her as a cast member. Hopefully, we can get you as a cast member. So when you look at today's environment, we talk about this all. You hire millennials most
Correct,
part,
yeah.
right? You and I are old school. How do you talk to them? What are you doing right? How do you interview them? Give us the process.
Well, I'd say the process really starts before then, which is to be involved in the community, and specifically in this case, the schools. I really like hiring some of the young men and women from the high schools here to give them an opportunity to have a first job, to be able to learn, hopefully, things the right way, be treated the right way. So I'd like to think, hopefully, at this point, there's a certain reputation that we have as an employer, but we develop that and continue to work at it by giving the kids a nice environment to work in and treat them with respect. And like I said, the first step was just being involved with the schools, so we had a presence and they could get to know us and who we were.
Okay, Tommy wants to ask you a question, but I wrote down reputation, Tommy, because we've talked about this in our community, or in the community as a whole. In-N-Out Burger has a good reputation. Jersey Mike's has a great reputation. I don't think a lot of employers, Tommy and Steve, understand what you just said.
Mm-hmm. I agree. What came to mind, which is probably worth sharing as well, because a lot of people will think, young people today think they know it all and that they're not teachable. But in some areas, that's the part that I really like, that they're sponges when they meet up with the right person that offers to them an opportunity, which you do, and you also teach them the right way to do things, and they adjust to it, and they like it, they take it, and they embrace it, and they do it, which is really exciting. And as I had gone into Jersey Mike's myself and just was talking to Victoria, the assistant manager, and just starting to explain a couple things, just their interest in the customer. And there are some things that are teachable, and then there are other things that are not. So you could tell, you could teach her to greet a customer, but in terms of the warmth and the interest, that's not as teachable. So what are you finding, Steve?
Well, you make a good point there, and Victoria is a wonderful young lady. What we look for, though, is how involved are these young people in their school?
Okay.
What kinds of activities are they involved with? What kinds of sports activities? Are they in leadership positions? And, I'm not trying to make a broad generalization, but usually the kids that are involved at that point in the school, really have something that's innate to them, or the way that they were raised. So they are people that are going to be receptive to the guidance so that we provide them. I believe strongly in a lot of training, and first starts with respecting the young people and really making sure that they know that they're valued and that this is an opportunity, and that we're committed to investing in them for the short term, long term, whatever they want to, however they want to stay with us. And I tell them that once you get hired, you're an employee for life. So when they go away to college, we always say to them, hey, you always have a job for the summertime, for breaks and holidays, and that goes a long way, in my opinion, of giving them that feeling of that they belong somewhere as opposed to just having. I don't want them to come to work because they feel they have to. I want them to come to work because they're excited about it. Now, that's a little extreme. They can't do that every day, but for the most part, you know, they have that feeling.
All right, I got to ask you a question.
Sure, absolutely.
You can't look at my answers here, so don't look. Our show brought to you by Bonefish Grill. Have you been over there, Steve? It's unbelievable.
I haven't.
Oh my God! Give yourself a treat. Take the missus out. It's fresh seafood. I had a great salmon and Caesar salad.
Where's it located?
In the mall, right on the outside of the mall. Easy parking and a great bar if you like a soda pop or two. But it was clean as a whistle and the atmosphere is great. Bonefish Grill. Okay, so here's my question to you, Mr. Jersey Mike's owner. What not to do in the workplace? What are the 3 things not to do? Don't look at my answers. 3 things not to do.
Employee or employer?
Employee.
Well, the first thing not to do is to take your job for granted. And what I mean by that is show up on time, show up being neat, well-dressed, groomed, and just have that appearance that you want to be there. And that starts with your appearance and how you approach your work. What not to do, don't wait.
One. Yeah, don't take the job for granted. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 2, I would say don't wait around for somebody to tell you what to do. Be proactive. Find things to do. After a certain point, you do know what the job necessitates. So, be proactive. Look for things. Be involved, and don't wait for somebody just to stand there and wait to tell you what to do. And I would say the third thing, what not to do. And I would say the other thing not to do is, I would say just the way you...
Time's up.
Okay.
All right. So here's my 3.
Sure.
And then we'll do Tommy's 3.
Yeah.
Don't disrespect the brand. That's kind of what you're saying.
Great point.
Don't disrespect the brand. Yep. I mean, right? I mean, your brand, Jersey Mike's, KHTS, AM 1220 here in Santa Cruz. 2 great brands. Honor the brand. Number 2 on my list is respect the boss. To me, that's how we grew up, right? Right or wrong.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. No, sir. Being polite goes a long way, but being nice to the boss even goes a longer way. I mean, sometimes you got to bite your lip, but you hire and promote people you like. That's just an old adage. Number 3, well, this was yours, Tommy. Don't be a self-promoter. That's a little different. What do you mean by that, Tommy? Don't be a self-promoter.
Well, as you're doing your job, you want to get attention, but you want to do it in the right way. You don't want to do it at the expense of your colleagues or your other co-workers. You need to make sure that recognition really comes the right way let others acknowledge what you do versus you saying, look at me and how great I am.
So one of my jobs when I was a young man was at a bank, and I'd be the first one. I've told you this before. I'd be the first one in the parking lot. I knew my boss would pull in at 7:15. I pulled it at 7, so that you'd always see my car. That was our generation. Tommy's too young.
George Costanza would leave his car there overnight.
All right. His name is Steve
Julius.
Julius.
Yes.
Julius. He's the owner of my favorite restaurant. It's not really fast food. How would you describe Jersey Mike's?
It's a different category. We call it a quick service
How about
restaurant.
yummy food?
Yummy food, that works too.
No, I'm serious. It's yummy. Everybody loves Jersey Mike's. Okay, here's another question.
Yes.
Fun jobs. What is a fun job? I think for me, working at Jersey Mike's would be fun. Seriously, I'd have a ball.
It is fun. I mean, we have a great time, but what makes it fun are the people
use an
that are
older
involved.
guy?
I'm sorry. You're too young to be older.
Application there.
You have too much
first of all, are you hiring? Listen, real quick.
That's a great question. We're not always hiring, but we're always looking at people because I think the best time to interview or be interviewed is when there isn't a job available, because then there's a more relaxed environment and you can really be yourself and stay in touch, and we get to know somebody. But so we're always interviewing, and for the right person.
So the right okay. So if you're listening to the show, and nobody under 40 is listening to the show, but if you're under 40 listening to the show, I'll buy you a free Jersey Mike's. If you're listening under 40, call 298-5487. I'll buy you a free Jersey Mike's. 298-5487. I'll give you away a free Jersey Mike's.
I imagine you also get some referrals probably from people that are already working for you.
Absolutely. We have quite a few of our employees that
That's the best
send
way.
We have many cases. We have a family, brother, then the sister, then another brother. They're different as they get older. They come and work generations in that regard.
Now, you've been eating a little bit of Jersey Mike's, I can tell.
Yeah, I know.
What's your favorite sandwich?
It depends on sometimes the way it goes is that, a customer orders something, go, oh, that sounds really good. I'm going to have one of those. So there's a couple that are favorites, but...
your cheesesteak, I'm telling you. Look,
great.
I've had cheesesteak in Philadelphia.
Coach wants one named after him, Steve. That's what he's like.
You got it.
Anyway, the cheesesteak and then 13 is my favorite. What's your
Can I make a comment on something from a previous question you had?
Yeah.
Because, you said something about respecting the brand. I think that's something younger people have to understand is that it's not just about respecting the brand verbally, but be careful what you put on these social media. Social media is such a big phenomenon that has occurred in our, in our society. And I think sometimes young people don't realize the impact that it has and how it stays there forever. And I know you probably, we went on to a different subject, but I just wanted to make sure that people knew that the impact of social media and that the young people have to realize what
and when Liz comes on, ask her that too, because I'm curious. I would not think about that as an employer.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a people person like you are. I would want to look at their eyes or handshake.
Definitely.
Stuff like that. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. Coming up at, and Steve's going to stay with us, so don't fret, everybody. 298-5487. You want a free Jersey Mike's, but you have to answer the question that I'm going to ask when you call 298-5487. Coming on here at 2:30. I better get off the air. Let's go to commercial. Her name is Liz Ryan, and her company is Human Workplace. Human Workplace. We'll be right back.